Hey everyone, I wanted to make a card for you using the Simon Says Stamp April card kit and the amazing Hero Arts ombre inks. I love them, or ombre. And then a couple of different dies. A Hero Arts cake birthday die from uh, their Stampin' Cuts kit, and then also a Simon Says Stamp Borders kit. And I loved the idea of doing a little cake with these pattern papers, and you need to have the pattern be somewhat small. I die cut a bunch of different cake plates and some different borders and some cards. I was especially drawn to the orange because it is my son's favorite color, and it seems like it might be hard to use. So I really wanted to challenge myself and make me use that orange. So you can kind of see what I cut out there, the cake, the plate. I'm actually going to stamp with the ombre art the outline of the cake layers there on the cake. And then I also did the candles from the Simon Says Stamp Birthday Wish, the Make-A-Wish set that came with the card kit. I took the candles and I stamped those with the ombre ink as well over those little white die cuts. So the idea here was to have the orange card and literally have the little candles be popping up on the top. And I first thought that the background of the card was going to be white as well. And then when I got into kind of coloring everything and getting everything put together, I decided that the folded card would actually be white, because then I could put a greeting into the inside. And if I had a orange panel on the front, I could also raise that up. And I show you that I do that in a bit with a little bit of the fun foam. So right now I was just using actually the ombre ink to stamp the little candles, and I chose to use the pink, the mint, and the butter to orange of those ombre inks. And I'll tell you, those are really little, but it does actually have a little bit on there, and it's really, they just make me happy. I also made a card with some gems, and I'll show that to you as well. But I ended up, after I got the orange background card and I put the type on it, I actually ended up not liking the whole card being that way, because I wanted to stamp a color greeting on the inside. So I'm going to emboss. I decided to have an orange panel and use the scalloped overlay over it. So I embossed with gold Ranger embossing powder, the sentiment, and then I'm actually going to glue that little scalloped frame from the Simon Says Stamp Borders set over the orange panel, and then attach that to the card with some orange fun foam. And I found this great fun foam that has actually got adhesive all on one side. So it not only makes your cards lie completely flat, but it also doesn't show another. It's got in a variety of colors, so you can put a color on the back and have it kind of match your card, so it doesn't, when you look in the side and you see that it's standing up, it doesn't have white in there or black or something else. You can actually, it will actually be orange underneath there, and I'll kind of show you that in a second. And then I wasn't sure if I was going to like the brown craft cake with the little gold stars. That's the orange fun foam there. I'm going to put that on the back. So I had die cut also some white pieces and then put them through the embossing folder, a Cuttlebug embossing folder that's a little teeny Swiss dot. You can kind of see the little white cake there, and I made an oval, a scalloped oval as well, and I'm going to show you how I assembled all those pieces, but I didn't go into detail about all the embossing. I wanted to keep this a little bit short. But I did make a variety of different pieces and colors so I could kind of play around with the look of the layers. So that white scallop piece has got the Swiss dot embossing. I chose a pink cake stand, and I've sped up the video here so you can see that I'm dimensionalizing that piece so that it actually sits on top and up pretty high. This is also going to allow me to get the cake high and have the candles sit kind of down behind the cake. So I get everything assembled in there. I put a bunch of just really thin little cuttings off of foam tape, double-sided foam tape. And I'm going to get the cake on there. I use some big pieces so that if it does go through the mail and isn't hand delivered, that it will not get smushed. Get my cake on there. I'm really happy with that. And I get the little candles on and arrange them. I wanted them to be a little bit not perfectly straight, a little bit curvy. I moved them around a little bit. Wanted them to be, yeah, perfect. So, and then this is where I put the greeting, and you can see that I was just using 2 colors of the ombre ink, and I moved it back and forth, and that's kind of important to do a little bit of an upward and downward motion on the ink pad so that you can get the colors to really blend nicely and not get a blend. I'm putting a little shadow below the cake on the cake plate, and then I'm going to put glossy accents on top of this so that it really looks and feels like glass. But I'm using just a gel pen. Actually, this is a glaze pen. If you really layer it, you can get it to be shiny. But I was putting the glossy accents, so it was just kind of the perfect match for that pink to make the cake look like it's sitting on it. And then just giving a little bit of color to the flame sitting on top of the candles, and yellow outside and a little bit of orange on the inside really makes them look like they're lit and bright. I did put some Wink of Stella on the candles as well, on what would be the wax part of the candles. So you could sparkle it up as much or as little as you want to. I thought it was nice for the birthday card to have a little bit of the sparkle on the candles. So you'll see me do that. And then I also, when I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, you know, the cake really, I wanted to be able to see the layers on the cake. So I took a couple Copic markers in a light brown, and I actually just shaded in the cake, and I started adding tone. First I was like, oh, maybe it's just shadows. The cool thing was that it really made the gold stars pop out. And then I literally decided, oh, I'm going to do the whole thing and put a couple more layers in. So you'll see me do that. I was like, oh, maybe just the bottom and the top. So, you know, really have fun with your coloring. It could be anything you could have used some watercolor. You could have just stamped in with the plain stamp, and then I really like that. And then you can see that I'm going to add the glossy accents to the cake stand and to the candles. And I actually ended up putting 2 layers on so that they really stood up pretty high. And you'll see in the photo that it really makes it look like glass. It's really nice. I was really happy with how that turned out. And then I'm back at the cake again because I wasn't so happy with that. So I gave it some time to dry. I didn't like how it looked with the center a separate color, and just decided to kind of give it some shading, do a couple more layers of the lighter color, and then add some of the darker color, add some of the darker Copic on top too. So there's actually two light browns there, and that is almost it. I just kept messing around with it, but again, adding shadow, a little bit of definition for the layers of the cake, and making those gold stars really pop out. I love that pattern paper and what you can do with it, and I think using other resist techniques like that makes a beautiful card. So the gold in the paper and the gold of the sentiment, and you can kind of see the dimensionality and the gloss of the glossy accents on the cake plate. Enjoy making a Make-A-Wish card with the April card kit from Simon Says Stamp. Please subscribe or leave a comment, and all supplies are listed below and on my blog. Have a great day. Bye.